beings such as Qui-Gon Jinn could not sense Palpatine whatsoever. And the answer to this is actually quite simple, but it's actually a little bit more detailed than that. And it ultimately took place years and years before the Clone Wars even began. It's something that even Plagueis had began with Palpatine by his side. And although it may seem very minor, in the long run it had a huge impact on the exact reason why they cannot be trusted or not be seen by the Jedi. What they did was meditate onto the dark side of the Force. Now I know it seems very plain and very simple, but it actually had a huge impact. By using astral projection and combining their minds and wills as one, they would project their dark side energy all over the galaxy, and although it wouldn't do it a lot, it would tip the balances of the galaxy enough to favor the dark side of the Force. But that small, absolute minor shift is all they needed to completely blind the Jedi, because as the war went on, it only got stronger and stronger. Even though that Plagueis was taken out by Palpatine, it still got stronger. The Jedi may not have noticed it whatsoever, but at the end of the day, they played directly into the dark side's hands. It also was due to the fact that the Jedi were so disillusioned with politics at the time that they couldn't really necessarily understand what was going on within the Force. The Jedi were fully focused on appeasing to the politics and trying to complete this war, in which they were actually not warlords whatsoever. None of them had combat experience truly. And this is why early on in the Clone Wars, a lot of the Jedi died, especially at the Battle of Geonosis. A ton of Jedi passed away during this point because they had no idea what they were doing. They had no tactics, they had no kind of strategy whatsoever. It was just pretty much charge forward at the enemy, try to dispatch as many as you can. With just that small shift, Palpatine and Plagueis were able to become politicians on Coruscant and actually live there and be right underneath the Jedi noses. They would see Jedi every single day. And they took pleasure in this as well, although they weren't dispatching Jedi themselves. Just being able to walk among them and they didn't necessarily know who they were gave them great joy. And with this, their plans